He keeps his arms spread, but it's more a showy gesture than any actual desire to give me a proper hug.
"The day has finally come. You've come to take the crown," he says.
Hardly. I can just about keep from rolling my eyes. I still need to get my training wheels on.
"Yes, well."
He heads behind his large desk.
"You know what I mean."
He waves for Jill to come closer. "It makes sense to take you under my wing, Allie," Jill says. "I know everything that happens at this company. Stick with me for a while and you'll be ready in no time."
"She'll be your boss in no time,"
my father says, his voice gruff. Jill shrugs off his comment as though she won't mind working for someone much younger than herself, as though she never considered herself for the part of CEO. But she's not a Lennox. It was always going to be either me or Sebastian. "The first thing we need to do," Jill says, "is make you a viable proposition for the board." She gives a quick shake of the head. "They'll be expecting Sebastian." "That's what you get when the board's mostly made up of old men," I say. "If I'm going to be CEO, I shouldn't mince my words." "Very true," Jill says before my father can make a comment. "I haven't exactly been sitting on my ass the past 10 years, I say. You can order Lennox beer in more than 100 countries around the world these days." Well, this is true. I've been working in the family business for a decade now. Even I expected Sebastian to be the one to follow in Dad's footsteps, despite him being an entitled, obnoxious douchebag. But times have changed and suddenly share prices can plummet, even when the most logical successor is announced. When they present me as the next CEO instead of my brother, the share price should stay pretty steady. At least, that's what my father told me when he gauged my interest in the position. It was a heartwarming way to sell me on the whole premise. "Once we've got the board on board," Jill says, not a hint of a smile on her face, "we'll take it from there. But that's the first objective. We need to create the idea of stable leadership, someone who won't rock the boat, but is fresh at the same time." No pressure. I glance at Jill. Even though we're in Southern California, she's wearing a black turtleneck sweater. "Don't worry, Allie. I've got your back." There's something sincere, and therefore very unusual about her, so I believe her when she says it, although I can't completely shake off the skepticism I was raised with. The least I can do is give her a warm smile in response. A knock comes on the door. It's Evelyn, my father's personal assistant. "Dr. Barnes is here," she says. My father rolls his eyes and sinks into his leather chair.
"Just follow Jill around."
He as good as waves us out of the door. Jill holds the door open for me. I'm at least 5 inches taller than her. I managed to convince him to have his blood pressure monitored twice a day. He doesn't like it, as you can imagine, she whispers. But needs must. I follow her to her office. She points to the wall behind her desk. "We've set you up next door, close to all the action." "Thanks." I glance around. Jill's office is a smaller replica of my father's. Perhaps mine will be exactly the same as well, but a little smaller still, to represent the current pecking order. How's he really doing in the day-to-day? "He's an old man," Jill says it matter-of-factly. It's good to know she doesn't mince her words either. "He should have stepped down years ago, but he's more stubborn than he's old, so—" "Tell me about it," I say as though I know all about it. I've only been back in LA a few weeks. "I have some calls to make," Jill looks at her watch. "But how about lunch together?" "Oh, I slant my head. "I already have plans for lunch." "With Sebastian?" she inquires. "He can tag along." She grins at me. "If he must." No, with my friend Madison. I didn't think today was going to be like a whole thing." "A whole thing?" Jill creases her features into an expression I can only interpret as extreme disapproval. "Why do I get the impression you're not taking this very seriously? You're going to be CEO of Lennox Breweries, Allie. This whole thing is going to take up a lot of your time, if not all of it. I hope you're aware of that." "I'm well aware. It's just that today's the first day. I have the rest of my life to be serious about it." I reach for my cell phone in the side pocket of my blazer. "But if it's so important, I'll have lunch with you instead."